Mr. President, Virginia and Chesterfield County in particular lost a beloved member on Friday, July 5th, and I thank my colleagues for passing the memorial resolution that we did today. This news landed with heaviness for many of us who knew, admired, and were inspired by and loved Kim Drew Wright. Kim was a creative mind and the founder of the organization known as the Liberal Women of Chesterfield County. And in this regard, Kim, and through her efforts, LWCC, played a significant role in local, state, and national elections by encouraging more women in Chesterfield County to serve as volunteers and activists and candidates for elected office. She worked hard to make sure that women had a voice. But Kim was also engaged in so many other efforts. Kim worked especially hard in the area of pediatric acute onset neuropsychiatric syndrome, otherwise known as PANS, and we passed legislation this past session that was largely driven by Kim and her group that worked so hard to establish recognition, research, and treatment for this rare and potentially devastating condition. And she was a fierce champion throughout her life for children, especially children affected by PANS, and for their families, and so many of us worked with her on this particular legislation. Kim left us too soon. She was a gifted writer, and she had a critically acclaimed collection of short stories, fiction, and prose poetry. Her book was called The Strangeness of Men, and it was selected as a USA Best Book Awards finalist in 2015 and received Independent Publisher Book Awards Silver Medal finalist in 2016. When she left us, she left many of us with a hole in our hearts, but more significantly, she left a legacy of collective action, a legacy of strong voices and of individuals inspired to work for the sake of justice and inspired to resist complacency or fear. She pulled people out of their homes and away from muted conversations. She pushed individuals out into the streets and to public forums and gave them the courage to build platforms and stages that never existed before. When Kim left us on July 5th, she slipped from us, as the American poet Wallace Stevens wrote, she slipped from us on extended wings. Thank you, Mr. President.